Spiral Mountain. There really isn't much you can do in this level. It's basically just the training level, the tutorial level, and it just gets you familiar with all the moves in the game, really. So it's pretty much pointless if you come back here after the very beginning, because really all there is to do is learn the moves. The roll, the punch, the jump, the double jump. The mechanics are pretty much the same as Super Mario 64, so if you've played that, you'll know what to do straight away. Mumbo's Mountain. This is the very first level in Gruntilda's lair. It is also the home of Mumbo Jumbo. Surprise, surprise, hence the name Mumbo's Mountain. So anyway, there's not an awful lot you can do in this level again. There's quite a bit, but not an awful lot. It just really gets you familiar with some of the more advanced moves and gets you used to some of the items in the game, like musical notes. Mumbo can also transform you into a spider, so you can gain access to the level's secret spider's lair, and a spider seems interested in your pants. Treasure Trove Cove. This is a nice, hot, sunny, yellow beach. If you fancy a swim in the water, you better think again, because the water is filled with man-eating sharks, who also eat bears and birds. So if you go into the water, you're going to get eaten alive. Also take a visit to the game's sandcastle, where you can enter the thousands of cheat codes, one of them being give the bear plenty of air. All of the cheat codes in this game rhyme. Here's Captain Blubber. He's crying because he's lost his gold. Interestingly, the gold is only under his ship deck. He hasn't looked very hard, has he? This is a lighthouse area, which you have to fly off of Captain Blubber's ship to get to. It's kinda secret, but not too hard to find. You can also battle it out with Nipper the Crab. He's a little pussy, so you won't have trouble beating him. Clanker's Cavern. This level is a big, filthy, grubby, dirty place. Half of the time you're going to find yourself swimming around in the filthy, grubby water of this level. So what do you do for the other half of the time? Well, we'll get to that later. This level is home to Gruntilda's big mechanical shark named Clanker. He eats rubbish. Say hello to Clanker, everyone. Hello, Clanker. Once you've freed Clanker from the murky depths of the water, you can actually go inside him and explore a whole new world. This is where you learn the big shield move, but you still spend a lot of time underwater. Here's an interesting fact: the music from Fungi Forest in Donkey Kong 64 was originally going to be used for this level. Bubble Gloop Swamp. In this level, you can't go in the water because it is filled with piranhas. They hurt you if you jump into the water. So, to get over it, you have to use the Wellington boots. Quite nifty, don't you agree? You can also pay a visit to your good friend Mr. Turtle, who complains that his feet are cold. So what do? You stamp on his feet, and that makes them better for some reason. And once you've made his feet better, you can gain access inside him. Mumbo can also transform you into a crocodile, so you can participate in this minigame, which requires you to eat worms as fast as you can. Freeze Easy Peak. This level is very Christmassy. It's so Christmassy that there's even a Christmas tree to prove it. And it's also an extremely cold level, you can tell by the snow. If Banjo goes in the water in this level, he'll freeze his ass off and will lose some health. A bit like in Bubble Gloop Swamp. There's also a big ginormous snowman scarf which you can go up. But be careful, because if you fall, it's a really long way down. Whoopsie daisies. In this level there's also heaps of snowmen which throw snowballs at you. To kill them, you have to do a flying charge into them and knock their helmets off. Mumbo will also transform you into a walrus, so you can go through the icy cold water without getting hurt. And you can gain access to Wazza's cave to get special features like another jigsaw puzzle for your collection. Walruses are still hurt by fire. You can also visit Bogey and collect his kids' Christmas presents. Gobi's Valley. This level is the complete opposite of Freeze Easy Peak, because it is a very hot, very scorching, and of course very sunny desert. You can help a very thirsty plant by getting it water from a very greedy camel who's drank it all. In this level, it's also the first time you have access to the running shoes, which you just saw a minute ago. You can also help Jinxie the Sphinxie by unclogging his nose with blue shells. This can be very tricky at times because they're kind of hard to aim, but never mind, you'll get there in the end. Once you have done it, he opens up a gateway so you can go inside the Sphinx and you can go on a magical carpet ride, like in Aladdin. Mad Monster Mansion, woo! Okay, this is an extremely spooky and extremely scary level, where monsters jump out of pictures, as I will demonstrate. Ah! And skeletons roam free. You can also take part in a little puzzle game, a spooky one too, and visit the mansion's spooky cemetery, where graveyards try and kill you. Grave tombs even, yeah. So Mumbo tries to transform you into a pumpkin as well. Why? So you can unclog a toilet named Logo. So that's kinda silly, but at the same time spooky. Rusty Bucket Bay. This is the level that, to describe best, is the one with the boat in it. And a big ass boat it is as well. There's a hell of a lot of explosives in this level, which I can't show you because we don't have time. Everything is out to kill you, even the rubber rings. Hey, I thought rubber rings were for safety. Oh well, I guess not. Now, people who have played Banjo Kazooie before are gonna remember this room, because it was incredibly difficult to maneuver around. Even the slightest mistake will land you a death. If you jump to the wrong platform, you're gonna fall off the edge. If you kill him and roll off, which I've done 1,000 times by accident, you're going to die. Oh shit! Click Clock Wood. This is a very interesting level, because it has the use of all 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn and winter. Right now, we're in spring. Now, because I'm very limited to time at the moment, I only have about a minute left or so, I'm only going to show you a few features of this level. One of them being Naughty the Beaver. To start off with, you go into the water, dive down a bit, and you'll notice a beaver who says that he has lost his phone. Here we go. Somebody move this boulder! Naughty had to get to his house! La, 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 la. Okay, so there's absolutely no way of moving the boulder, if memory serves me right. So you come back in summer, notice the lake has all dried up, but when you're trying to get into Naughty's house, you slide back down again. So, what you do now is you come back in autumn. Notice that the water, it has returned again. But this time you can actually get in to Naughty's house. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a shithole, so that wasn't really worth going to after all. He gives you a jigsaw though. I guess that's worth it. And this is winter, which is completely and utterly different from the rest of them, in a way. There's no way of getting into Naughty's house in winter, because the lake is frozen up. Very clever.